Good morning, Quintet. It's Monday. Instead of vlogging today, I'm going to go with a thoughts from places kind of format, which is something the vlogbrothers do. And it's going to be mostly based around tennis, but hopefully you still find it interesting and thought-provoking. Anyway, so just because school is over doesn't mean that I'm not still playing tennis. Sarah and I are doing a traveling summer league, but I don't have footage from that, so this is just me and Sarah playing on the Argonaut courts. She is very, very good, and I am trying to match her power, but failing. And also, for some reason, I couldn't hit a decent backhand, so ignore that. A couple of weeks ago, I was playing a singles match against Lodi. One thing you should know is that while most high school players would kill to play singles instead of doubles, I'm the exact opposite. The only reason that I was even playing singles that day was because one of our players couldn't make it, so I had to step up and tell my coach, yeah, alright, I'll do it. The thing with singles is that you can't get past the fact that it's just you out there. I mean, sure, there's your opponent, but they're on the other side of the net, and you tend to dehumanize them a little when you're playing. My dad is fond of saying that tennis is as much a mental sport as it is a physical sport, and I agree completely. My problem with singles is that I get into my head too much. I start looking at the scorecards and thinking, okay, well, we're on serve, but if I break here and then manage to hold my serve, maybe I can pull out the set. Or, I've won my service game on this side every time, but lost it on the other side once, but I've broken her before on the other side, so if I can get the hold here and the break here, I can win this. The reason that kind of thinking isn't a good thing is because instead of thinking in terms of points, you start thinking in terms of games, which is the opposite of what you should be doing. Tennis is a kind of sport where all your focus and concentration should be on the point that you're playing. You have to live in the moment. When you can manage to block everything about the past points and the future points from your mind is when you play your best. The best pros are the ones who can immediately shake off a bad point and come back from it without getting tied up in the awfulness or amazingness that happened in the previous point. And in that way, I think tennis is kind of like life. A lot of times we start thinking too much about the future and all of the terror that it could bring along with all the awesome that it could bring. I think that we've been getting caught up in this trap especially since we just graduated and have no freaking idea what the next 4 years of our lives are going to be like. And I know that I'm getting caught up in a holy cow, it's going to take me another 13 years of my life to become a doctor, when really I should be living more in the moment. If we start thinking in terms like that, we're going to end up scaring ourselves far too much to enjoy life. I mean, it's important to look ahead, but it's also important to focus on the present, to live our lives in terms of points instead of games. One of my favorite John Green quotes is, imagining the future is a kind of nostalgia, and it holds true, both for tennis and life. So while I know that in the future there will be goodbyes between us as we head our separate ways in the fall, there's also still a lot of laughs and jokes and places to go with each other in the now, and the summer before our lives change. There's no time to be mad at one another or sit around watching YouTube all day. Let's live our lives in terms of points. Let's go do something. Even if that something is playing tennis in the 100-degree heat. Thomas, I'll see you tomorrow.